Hey guys, it's Buzz Glover here from BizLoanConsultants.com. I wanted to take and provide a quick video to you of the number one reason that people don't get started in their own business. And this is any business, not just business loan brokering. I remember in my early days working in the corporate world, selling mailing and shipping equipment, being pretty successful. I always had this entrepreneurial spirit that I wanted to get started in my own business. And probably the number one reason that I waited so long, and when I say waited long, I meant all through my 20s. I think actually into my early 30s before I started my own business, was because I didn't have a lot of money. The money that I was making, which was halfway decent, I was spending, believe it or not, a lot of it was partying and having a good time and just paying for my necessities, paying for the apartment that I owned, and putting food on the table, and going out to restaurants and doing a lot of the things that 20-year-olds do. But the other thing was, every time I would look at a business, I looked at franchises, I looked at all different types of business. The problem is that they cost a lot of money to get started, especially if you got into a franchise. You had a $30,000 franchise fee. A lot of cases, depending on what type of business you're getting into, you had to go out and buy equipment. And I looked at all kinds of franchises. Like I said, I had this entrepreneurial spirit that wouldn't quit. I looked at Subway shops. You spend, I think it's $30,000 or in that area for a franchise fee, and then you have to go in and you have to lease retail space. And the owner of the building wants to have typically a couple months deposit, and they want you to sign maybe a 3 or 5 or 10-year lease. And I'm not even sure what Subway wants you to do. Then you have to go and pay maybe anywhere from $100,000 to $150,000 to do the build out on the restaurant. And it's not just for Subways. I looked at all different types of businesses. I looked at service type businesses, but they all required so much upfront cost. And the problem was I really didn't have enough socked away to do it. And even at that time, I don't know that I would have risked it, because I always thought that there was so much risk involved in getting in your own business. So one of the reasons for shooting this video today is to show you. It's funny, since then, I've owned a number of business. If you've seen my other videos, you know that I'm pretty much a serial entrepreneur. I've owned not only a business loan brokerage, which really changed my life and allowed a lot of the other businesses to come true, but I've owned car washes. I've owned 3 car washes. I've owned self-storage. I owned a sign business. I owned a printing business. They were all capital intensive. And if you're a young guy and you don't have a lot of money put away, or even if you're an older guy and want to get started in your own business, but you don't want to risk a lot of what you've put away, you're never gonna pull the trigger on that type of business. And that's problematic, because on one hand, you want to become an entrepreneur. On the other hand, you're not willing to take as much risk as that's needed to be taken when you become an entrepreneur. So the number one reason most people don't start their own business is because they don't have enough money, or they don't want to risk enough money. What I thought I'd do here today is, a lot of people, when I do blog posts or I do video blog posts, they reach out to me and they want to know what the cost involved in becoming a business loan broker. And ironically, business loan brokering was the one business that made more money for me than any other business I owned, and it had the lowest startup costs. When I say low startup costs, I mean very low, like nominal startup costs. A lot of the things I'm going to mention here, you already have. It's interesting that I just had a buddy of mine ask me. He knew that I've owned a bunch of business. He said, and this was before a high school reunion that I was going to, and we were sitting at a bar, and he said, what was the one business that treated you the best? And I didn't even hesitate. It was business loan brokering. It was the least amount of risk taken, and it had the highest returns. And you've probably seen that in some of my other videos if you follow me at all. So let me just run down through the startup costs that I send out to people when they email me. I kind of have a template that I can just copy and paste into an email. And I'll show you what the startup costs of starting a business loan brokerage. You have an LLC filing. Typically, it's going to be $100 to $200, and you might have to pay your state fees on top of that. And that's if you would use a service like LegalZoom. Oh, and by the way, on an LLC filing, you can get started without filing an LLC. You'll be running as a sole proprietor. I don't recommend that you do that very long, but if you are on a really tight budget, I would forego the LLC. I don't think there's too much risk that you're taking legally that would require you to have that LLC right away. Like I said, I'm not an attorney. I don't want to lead you down the wrong road in that area, but if you're on a really, really tight budget, I'd forego the LLC filing, and you can, once you get your first deal, and just go out and take the name of your company and form it into an LLC. And like I said, you lose some protections as far as, you know, fictitious names and all that I'm not going to get into here. But if you're on a tight budget, you can forego that cost. Logo design. Believe it or not, I show you a service in my mastermind. I'll just tell you, it's Fiverr, Fiverr.com. You can go out and get your logo designed from anywhere from $5 to $10 to $50. Just using Fiverr.com, you go out and there's tons of designers all over the world with it that will do some of the really good designs for not a whole lot of money. The next item is website design and hosting. Is probably going to be your biggest expense. Once again, I have some training on do-it-yourself training, which will walk you through step by step on how to go out and get a hosting service, how to register your domain name, how to start building the site, what content you should put in that site as a business loan broker, and there are some costs involved in it. The hosting is about typically $4 a month. I recommend using Bluehost. I'll leave you a link down below to go ahead and sign up for them. You're going to have to get a WordPress theme. I recommend Optimize Press. A WordPress theme just gives you the look of the site that you want, and the one that I use makes it very easy for a non-techie to drag and drop and design the site. And in my training that I will, if you guys reach out to me, I will offer you the links to how to do this. You can put all that together. And so you got $4 a month for the hosting. You got $99 for the Optimized Press WordPress theme that I would recommend. And then I will give you the training free, even if you're not one of my mastermind students. If you don't feel comfortable doing it on your own, you can always go to a site called like upstart.com. You're going to go out and you're just going to interview different freelancers, and that will run you anywhere from $500 to $1,000 if you use Upstart. Brochure design, once again, Fiverr, and I give you, in my mastermind class, I give you templates. I'm not sure that I'm going to throw everything out there at no charge, but for the purpose of this video, you can go out and get a brochure designed on Fiverr very inexpensively. I recommend that you just get a nice printer, and you can print those brochures on demand, so you're not going out and getting hundreds of them printed off at one time. Whenever you're going out on a call or you have a meeting, you can just take a brochure with you. Brochure is pretty much your website on paper, and you can get that done from $10 to $50. I'm looking on here. I just realized one of the things I am missing is a printer. You are going to need a decent inkjet printer. They're very cheap nowadays, a couple $100s. I know that I'm missing that now. So if you are getting your brochures and you're printing them as you go out and see people, you are going to have a printer as well. And like I said, I would budget maybe, I don't know, $200. The printer that I have costs $500, but I went on the high end. It's a laser printer. I think it's a Xerox 6505 that I paid like, I don't know, $550 for. You're going to need business cards, Vista print. You can get those printed very cheap, probably even lower than $35, but you're going to need that. You're going to need a laptop computer or a computer of some type. Chances are you already have one, but I would budget $1,000 for that if you didn't have one. A financial calculator. It's a, maybe I have mine here. HP. I do have mine right here. You're going to need a financial calculator. I know that they sell them at Office Max or Staples. This one's probably $100, but you can get them now for like $35. And all you need to do is make sure that they have the TVM. I think there's a train going by. Perfect. TVM, time value money calculation. So you'd have to budget for that. So hopefully that train noise will go away. You will need a desk. Like I said, chances are you already have this. You're going to need a chair for your desk. Chances are you already have that. You're going to need I recommend using a voice over IP phone, which is so you're going to need internet service. Chances are you already have an internet service in your house or wherever you're going to run your office. You can plan on anywhere from $50 to $75 a month for your internet service. And that voice over IP phone might cost you $100 to buy it, and then it's $30 a month, but it has all kinds of voicemail, and it makes you look like a very legitimate business. And lastly is your cell phone, which I put in $100 a month. That's probably what you're spending right now on your current cell phone. You can just use your current cell phone. So in essence, you can get started in this business for, if you don't need a lot of this stuff, for well under $1,000. If you don't have a computer, you might have to budget up. On the very high end, it would be $2,000. So the reality of it is that you can get started in this business for very little money. And once again, the ironic thing is, in all the businesses I own, this was the one business that made a difference in my life and that allowed me to make the income for me to invest in car washes and some of the other things I did. So keep in mind, I'm just going to throw out commercial real estate deal. The average commercial realtor or average commercial real estate deal, according to realtors, is $1.6 million. So if you back out the equity that a customer puts into the deal, let's just say that it brings the average loan down to $1.3 million. As a business loan broker, you're typically going to charge 1%, and that would be a $13,000 fee, which would pay for all your startup costs and give you a nice income beyond that. So there you have it. Once again, I'm Buzz Glover, founder of BizLoanConsultants.com, the author of Business Loan Brokering 101. There's a picture of me and my wife at Niagara Falls. I'm a 20-year veteran of brokering commercial business loans, and I thank you for joining me here today. Thanks. Hey guys, I'm back. Real quick comment. Just leave any questions or comments that you have about what I talked about below, or any other questions that you have about brokering business loans. I'd be glad to help you. Just like I said, leave a comment below, or go out and check out my website at BizLoanConsultants.com, and I will help you get started in this business any way that I can. Thank you.